So our quarterfinals will be established by this afternoon, and we are now just moments away from kicking off the first heat of this 5th round.
And just to touch on the fact that maybe that finish tomorrow, there is some wind. It's not the optimum direction, but it is out of the east, which is a little better than what we have now. Looking further out, like after that, limping, that he would be challenged to get through, but didn't look like it in the water.
Here goes Joel Parkinson on the first wave of round 5. Looks very energized compared to his round 4 effort. Some nice moves already. Tapping back into the flow. We saw him post some huge scores early on. Not expecting a monster number for this wave, but he'll be happier with the start.
I like the body language. You were saying how he looked energized. You know when you can get off the top and you can see him make sure that that flow, that board is going, even in a situation where it's going to want to kind of grab the foam of your board. He was able to give that energy, get back down the face, that low center of gravity. Again, right off the rock, you get that wedge effect as the wave starts to bend around the corner and turn back at you. Nice section here. That was the major turn of this wave. Not going to be a huge score. Beautiful arc, down carve to finish right there. See how he put his arms back down by his sides. That allows all that weight and all that momentum to keep flying down the line.
You think back to Joel's last heat, though, that second heat of the 4th round. John Florence didn't really have to do anything exceptional on his first ride either. He just surfed it pretty smart. That wind really played into the heat, and he just got a lead and kind of built from there.
There's a little barrel, right?
Got the barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely got one of the better waves, but he didn't put it all on the line in his first ride. He opened the heat with a 6 and then looked to really shut it down as time wound on.
And he found the 8, and that was it. 14-point heat it's about bare minimum, right?
Joel got a couple of big stand-up barrels that day.
The skis were probably playing a very crucial role in that event.
Well, here's Parkinson once again, now looking for just a backup score to go with a 5.5. He's finding some nice little runners here. And not over surfing these rides at this point in time.
Oh.
Just looking to flow down the line there and placed his board a little early. And he knows that is 5.5 on the first. Adriano left out the back. And he's got a nice looking wave stretching out in front. A bit more aggressive there on that second turn. And just laying some rail into this wall, being careful not to catch any of these bumps. Unfortunately for Adriano, that wave just...
With that first turn, take a look here at Parco. And this wave, so hard to surf and keep it with flow, but he just does it so easily. You see, unweights, and then puts pressure when he has to, and that allows him to pick up all that speed. The board springs out of it. Just the mistake there, unfortunately. And then behind him, Adriano, nice section, lays into it. You can see everything put, when it kind of takes away from the flow when you really get aggressive like that, but it sure shows a point of difference in accentuating that major move.
Get your attention. Another strategy Adriano might be able to employ is to go to the air. Frontside reverses, executed out of the pocket. Doesn't really need that oncoming section. It's one of those few guys that can really just kind of load up and explode out of the pocket of the wave. But here he is, working this one out over on the open face. Looking for the connection now. Let's see what he can do. He's trying to load up some speed here, off the bottom. Banking nice and hard into the shoulder of this wave there. A clean float. This wave being strung together beautifully and really did deal with the last 2 sections on that wave very well.
That was nice. That, and it kept giving him. So here's that drop. You can see it's like pretty much right there outside Little Marley and into Rainbow Bay here. But the wave was steep. He was there right when it got at its biggest part. And then did a little double up here, but at the very end, the flow that he carries is pretty nice. Driving that arc right there is hard to do in such a small, tight section. Climbs it right there. Even this one, see, just climbs that white water. Solid stuff from Adriano de Souza.
Impeccable timing. Adriano, 30 years of age. He's just been made for Joel Parkinson, this lineup, the last couple of days. No kinks out on the open face. Can use all that speed, which he generates so well on those big, powerful, full rail turns. That's kind of the advantage taken away from him.
Take a look at this again. Beautiful snap there on the outside. You know, it seems to be in that zone of the sand's really good. So it'd be tough to move away from that when you get a wave like this and see all the sections you can get. Good healthy mix there. Bang, drifts the fins, and then somehow with limited speed was able to climb that whitewater section and finish up.
Adriano just really lucky on that occasion to get such a smooth wall that he could let go of some solid turns on. Gets a little caught up there, 16.5 minutes to go, plenty of time left. But we have some live action for you here. Just on 11.5 minutes remaining in this first heat of the 5th round. Joel Parkinson up at the moment, trying to get himself into the lead. He needs a 6.93. Nice carb there, drawing off the bottom. This wall's starting to stand up a little bit. And Joel maintaining good speed, dealing with the bumps well so far. We want a good clean track through this inside. Nice finishing move. Was that a bow?
That was a kick out, Sean Thompson style.
11 minutes to go here.
It's definitely going to be his best wave, I think. Carried a ton of speed, but you know, kind of looking again for that kind of wow factor. Somewhat lacked a little bit. You know, I liked his transitions. So hard to do with all that bump. And this, again, a set wave that kind of drafted along a bigger set wave before it, so it had that cleaner face. That was kind of the money turn there. I mean, really the highlight of this wave is his flow once again. Definitely carried a lot of speed through all these moves, and that nice clean finish. That was right in front of the judges there.
Just over 10 minutes to go, scores coming through. And Joel logs a big one, an 8.83, and he rockets into the lead.
If you look how clean it is, here's the 6.93 for a comparison. You know, much bigger wave for Joel. Not much, but bigger wave for Joel. And the difference really being, too, for Adriano is that, you know, he doesn't have that same flow. He doesn't carry the same pace of the wave. But there is a, you know, to me, there was higher impact turns here. Would you agree with me, Ronnie?
Definitely thought Adriano had that cleaner wall where he was able just to go one turn straight into the next. Joel's got the bigger wave. This turn was reasonable. I like the next cutback carve, sort of banks off that chop. It was a solid combo here up into the lift. There's the, what you pointed out, Pete, is the strongest turn on the wave.
But I mean, it did stand up the entire way, whereas Adriano had that cut in half. He had to do the cutbacks. And then again, he took off flowing pace and do maneuvers and keep that speed going.
Well, so, under priority here, Joel Parkinson sitting a little further down the line, has a lot of speed. And there's a nice swooping cutback, just gliding through to this inside wall, and this wave's starting to stand up. Nice snap there, still has some speed, climbs up on the roof and stands tall for a moment before dropping and stomping that floater right out on the flats. It's very difficult. Adriano on the wave behind Joel. Whoa. Went to the air through this thing but couldn't ride out.
That's the point. He knows this is going to be the point of difference, is to try and give something. But you know what? If you're going to see almost 9-point rides going for being the flow master, stick with being the flow master. You see, he just carries, drives that rail through everything. And look at this wave stand up for him. And this floater right here, with all this speed, he just hangs there forever until he almost slows down to a stop and then jumps off the lip and pulls it off. Pretty amazing.
Great way to finish that ride for Joel, waiting for the scores to come through. Only needs to better a 5.5 to move ahead. He's going to do that. How high will this number go?
Look at these just hanging up there. hanging until he's almost dead in the water. Little rock and roll shifty and jumps off the lip. In the explosion and appears. There's a flair for dramatics. Looks up at the judge and says, yep, that's my finish. Well, there it is, a pair of 8s, man. That's exactly what he needed to do.
Now here he is again, taking off on an insider with a good-looking wall, starting to look a little bit more aggressive now on these smaller waves. I think you have to be if you're going to keep putting big numbers up, but that one doesn't really. 3 minutes, 20 seconds.
I don't know if he's watching this heat. Would he want to even go to the air?
Who?
Kolohe. Or Italo, for that matter. I mean, you can get 8s and 9s for gliding across sections, and
never really had to push himself, and he's going to be moving through to the next round with a monster heat score total. Really did do well to iron out the bumps out there, Pete.
Considering the performance that he did put together, you're saying, what, 8.9 points or something for his total in round 4?
Well, yeah, 9.73,
yeah.
2-wave total.
So.
And, I mean, now he's still probably got one of the best heat score averages, even with that 9.73. And there is a big local crowd down here that will be cheering him on. Adriano is going to put on a bit of a show for the crowd. Has some speed, throws the reverse, doesn't quite stick it, though. And that first heat is coming to an end. Still 3 more absolute bangers coming your way. Italo Ferreira and Kolohe Andino will be up next. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Quiksilver Pro.